So I'll go ahead and start recording. My name is Christina LaPerry. I was really motivated to do this Zoom call after ICU, ICU, we'll just say, University in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, just because Lynn and Trudy got up and were really talking about how to grow your money into a jungle. And I was really impressed because obviously just starting here in March, I'm still learning the comp plan. And you go from being an associate, and then you're going to consultant, and you're working your way up, and you're just kind of trying to learn the product and trying to reach out to people and really figure everything out all at once, so you can really boom and try to make your $5,000 in 5 weeks. But it's truly a learning curve. So like I said, I after last week, I was like, well, I just want to kind of talk about this. And like Stephanie said, the basics are pretty simple. You kind of learn those as at the very beginning as you're going along. I kind of just put this up here as kind of something Lynn had showed at the university, ICU University. And it was cool because, like Lindsay said in the previous Zoom call, is they specifically said it's not who you know, it's who you're going to meet. And that's so true, because when you come into Isagenix or any type of network marketing, you think to yourself, oh, I know all these people. But just because you know all these people doesn't mean all these people just want to jump on board right away. So, to really build your business, it's building your team, building your tree. And obviously, as you build your tree, you're going to build your jungle. So Lynn had done the ACMDE, and I thought it was a really nice little graph that she had put together. And obviously I found it on Google. If you obviously Google everything, you've got it here. So I just kind of put the ACMD, which is your associate, your consultant, your manager, director, as well as your executive. And then, like I said, we pretty much know how those work, those rules kind of work and play, and what your benefits are, as well as your bonuses. The biggest thing, what I've been learning since I've been doing Isagenix, is really try to get to director or crystal director as fast as you can, because if you do it within a certain amount of time that's allotted, obviously you're going to get those bigger bonuses. And also with those bonuses is really when you're going to start seeing your cycles come into play, and also with the pools that they have as director as well as executive. So, one of the pools that they have for your director pool, a lot of individuals probably don't know exactly where to find it through Isagenix. When you go into your back office, is they specify on the contest and promotions, there's a flyer, which, obviously you might pull it up and look at it. Like when Stephanie first sent it to me, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not a director yet, so okay, I'll figure this out later. But as I listen to Lynn and Trudy, it's really about figuring it out now, because if you understand the potential that you can make, it really sets a fire to you, because it's not just about, well, I can get a couple cycles here, a couple cycles there. So as the director, this goes till January 28th, and I think it's important for us to pull this up and look at it, because you can earn up to $75,000. And really what's so important is when you become a director is making sure that you have 6 consultants that are constantly active. And I think that's the one thing that we really need to pay attention to. First of all, is making sure you have your auto ship, because if you don't have your auto ship then active, then you won't get your pools and bonuses. And then making sure that when you are a director, that those 6 consultants stay active, because then that allows you to jump into the pools. And basically when it comes to those pools, they take a look and they say, okay, is she active? And if she is active, is her consultants active? And you have to be active as a director on a daily basis. It can't just be, well, I was a director on Wednesday of last week and I was a director on Tuesday of the following week. You have to be a director every single day in order through, your Sunday through Monday, or Sunday at midnight, correct, in order to get those pools. And so basically what this specifies is when you are going for the director pools, you truly have to hit your benchmark and by 2. So therefore, if you hit your benchmark over your previous 2 over your previous month, so here it specifies your benchmark's 5. And if you look to the left, your personal cycles, you have to, on an average of making sure that they're over the 2 to be able to get your monthly net cycle growth, which obviously if you're getting, 7 on here, then that's going to pay you out on your bonuses let me pull this up here, as our bonus structure shows. So obviously, as you're growing, as you're going from a consultant to your manager, to your director, to your executive, you really want to stay active. You really want to have your auto ship. You really want to have your consultants, so you can earn your bonuses, so you can get into the pool. Also with the executive bonuses, you have to have your 5 consultants. Your 5 consultants have to be active for you to be able to get those pulls as well. And you have to, it can't be on like a Wednesday basis. It does definitely have to be every single day that you are executive as well. And same thing at the back office, the back office also specifies your pulls for the executive, which I thought were pretty cool, because on your director, your benchmark is 5. And then obviously as an executive, your benchmark is going to be 7. So, and this flyer kind of goes into it. Obviously each week you have to, like I said, and I stress this because all the videos I watched, they talked about how people didn't have their auto ship, so they didn't have their 100 PVs, or they had one consultant that wasn't active and they had all these cycles and they're like, well, I should have got my pool, but they didn't get it because they weren't active and they didn't have their auto ship. So that's why I definitely stress that, because you're going to make money making sure that it's on a consistent basis. So definitely take a look at the executive as well as the director pools, because there's money to be made. And there's so much that, when you look at this graph, Mary Kay just joined us. There she is. When you take a look at this graph, it's kind of confusing. There's a video that you can actually watch, and I watched it because obviously when you read something here, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, I have to hit a benchmark, but what's the benchmark? There again, it's really about making sure your consultants are active, and then it depends on their cycles and then your own personal cycles. So no matter what your consultants have, you still have to hit your own personal cycles. So I think that's where we really have to understand that part of the pools. It's about building your team, but you have to hit your own personal cycles in order to get these pools. So take a look at that. And like I said, the video is really cool. Travis does the video, and he talks about exactly how it works. And he goes into terminology that I didn't even know existed. It's the 4 PETs. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I had no clue. And if you don't understand your 4 PETs, then you're not going to get your pulls. And I'll kind of briefly discuss the PETs, and really what that comes down to is the levels of your tree. So if you have yourself, you have to have 4 levels down in order to get certain pulls. So it's not just about your own personal cycles, it's about how many you have underneath your trees. So, and I know that's a lot of information. So like I said, it's so important for you to go to your back office, take a look at the videos, take a look at the flyers, and really understand how it is you get paid. This was one thing, the power of cycles, that Trudy went over when it comes to how you get paid. And one thing, or not Trudy, Tanya, I apologize, Tanya Kirkpatrick said, and the one thing that really made me think is she says, how much do you want to make? Do you want to pay off your product? Do you want to pay that car payment off? Do you want to be able to pay your mortgage? What's your why? Why are you doing this? And, she said, how many cycles, pay attention to what cycles you're working for. How much do you make on a monthly basis at your current job? And look at that, and then take a look at the cycles, and how many cycles do you have to make to be able to, so like 20 cycles per week will give you $4,300 a month. So if you're making $4,300 a month, around 60 grand or whatnot at your current job, and you hate waking up Monday mornings, it's important to truly know what your cycle is. And so that's why I kind of put this together, because, a lot of us look at, well, on a yearly basis, if I'm a 1-star silver circle, I make between this is, and this is based on a year. So I wanted to really break it down on a monthly basis. And that's on my 90-day game plan, like Mary Kay's 90-day game plan, is we really broke it down, even on our vision board, we really broke it down to the cycles that we need to be able to get on a monthly basis. So we know where we need to be to, 1, get the pulls, 2, to become your 1-stars, your 2-stars. And so with that, one thing that I went through is, excuse me, I'm learning to play with my mouse, is I went through and kind of broke down what your 1-star cycles all the way through your 8 stars look like. And these are benefits I didn't even know existed. Like I said, usually I was looking at that last screenshot and was like, oh, okay, so if I make $4,300 each month, then I can be a 2-star, but I had no clue what 2-star meant. So, so really the breakdown shows. So on your 1-star, you basically have the ability to get up to $1,000 in bonuses on a yearly basis. You're looking at about anywhere from 28 to 53,000. Your director pools, you can max out about 25. Your executive pools, about 5,000. And then on a consistent basis, you can play in the executive pools up to 6 months. Your holiday bonuses, which that's something that's really cool. I really advise you to go back and look at in the back office to see how your shares are paid, because on the holiday bonuses, depending on what the price of the share is, you get 10 shares. I mean, that's extra money. Same with your pools, if you get the 7 cycles or whatnot, depending on what the cycle's worth, and that could be an extra $400. So, and once you become a 1-star, you get your 10% executive match. 2-star, you're looking at $2,000 bonus on a yearly basis. It's about $56,000 and up, because it depends on the cycles. You're either looking from 10 to 20 cycles, 20 to 40 cycles, and so each one kind of breaks down, which was the other page. It showed what the cycles were. So if you just kind of keep going down, the 3-stars, you've got 3,000 in bonuses you can get. You can make up to 165,000 per year. You got your executive pools, and like I said, depending on the set of shares, if you get 7 shares and those 7 shares, or we'll say 56 shares, and those 56 shares are worth $10, you've got $560 extra just because you're in that 3-star. You get your corporate and retail referral program, which this is really cool, because until Tanya said anything, I didn't even know that this existed. And so if someone reaches out to Isagenix and they don't have a upline, they'll send out a referral to you, so you'll receive that email saying, hey, by the way, this person's looking for some. So it's like, you didn't even have to advertise or go on Facebook. So there again, you've got your executive leadership as well. You've got your holiday bonuses, your 10% executive match. Now the 10% executive match is basically you get 10% in regards to your tree that's underneath of you. So if you're building up a huge tree into a huge jungle, you're getting that 10% on the consultants that are underneath you. And then something was really cool when we went to Celebration. There was this Club 6 area, and we were kind of like, well, what's Club 6? Like, why do those people get to go in there and we don't? It's like, what do we have to do to get in there? Which we had no clue, because when we've gone over the comp plan, it's been, go from, your ACM, DE. We're like, okay, so what, so it was kind of cool. And they had like refreshments out, and they had Isagenix stuff out and whatnot. So, the Club 6, even though it's, a little extra, it was kind of fun to watch. So there again, with your 4-stars, you pretty much are going through the same with the 4-stars. You're still going to get your executive pools, your corporate retail referrals. And then the cool thing is Isagenix gives you a VIP line. So instead of you having to call customer service, like everybody underneath of you does, and nobody really knows your name, uh, with the VIP line, you basically, they know who you are. And so you get to have conversations with them. It's going to be the same people that you're talking to pretty much on a consistent basis. They know who you are. They know what your business looks like, which I thought was pretty impressive. So I have that at my corporate job, which, you know, we have clients that we can send to them. And it's a VIP line, and they just love it because they feel special. So I love that Isagenix does that as well. It's once you start ranking higher, it's like you get your own little VIP, and it just makes you feel good about continuing to star up, I guess you can say. So there again, you have your five star, and really with your 5-star, you're looking at the higher earnings. Your 6-star, higher earnings. Same thing with the VIP line. Your 7-star with the higher yearly earnings, and your 8-star is really where you come to the higher earnings, but then that's where you max out. And when you max out, you know, you have 250 max out cycles pay out, and then that's when you go into re-entry. And that's kind of where your platinum goes into. Well, that's where you start your platinum. So I know that's a lot of information to kind of go over, but you know, I just think it's important that we really understand that there's more out there than just being an associate consultant, a manager, executive, and a director. Because that's why these millionaires that are standing up on the stage are saying, you know, you can do this. And it's just like, okay, I don't get how you guys are doing this. And that's truly how it's working. And then kind of what Lindsay was talking about prior, you know, it's really about, well, how do we get this? How do we do this? How do we truly build this business? And one thing that Tanya and Lynn Hagedorn talked about was truly increasing your retention. And that's going to be with your IsaBody Challenge as well as your Health, Mind, and Body. Your Healthy Mind and Body, you know, Mary Kay and I have a story with one of our clients that was kind of struggling, and she was getting constipated because she was doing her cleanse, and she's like, I'm not liking this, you know, like I'm not losing weight and I'm just not feeling well. And so we kind of talked to her about the Healthy Mind and Body. And after that, she just took off. And it was like, as soon as she did the Healthy Mind and Body, she's like, I know what my why is, and I know why I'm doing this. And oh my goodness. And we're like, okay, great. And she literally has probably been ordering about 150 BV a month just because of Healthy Mind and Body. And then because of that, then she signed up with IsaBody Challenge. And one of the statistics for IsaBody Challenge is after about a year, 80% of the people who sign up with IsaBody Challenge are still, you know, a consultant or higher. They're still enrolled and whatnot. So that's really your sticky, I say products, but that's truly how you're going to keep the clientele and your retention going, because they're going to understand their why, and they're going to truly, with IsaBody Challenge, are going to see the difference in themselves. So, and there again, when it comes to your business, one thing that the last Zoom call kind of talked about was, you know, how do we do this? And that's why I asked Roger to jump on. And, you know, something that Mary Kay and I are learning, you know, just doing this from March till now is, you know, if you build it, they will come. And my favorite movie, you know, has that saying in it, Field of Dreams. And it's true. You know, it can start off slow, or it can start off as fast as you want it to. And one thing that I was kind of stubborn with is when it comes to Facebook, because I'm like, you know, it's all family and friends, and I don't know if they want me bothering them, and they don't have the money for this. And, you know, Mary Kay's in Derby, and a lot of Derby girls are really young, and we're kind of like, yeah, let's not, you know, we'll post things, but as we post them, let's try all these other avenues as well. And then kind of started working with a program, this social point of view that Stephanie was talking about. And that program truly teaches you, just continue to reach out, continue to post, 80% personal, 20% business. Show them that, you know, you're doing your regular life, but you're also building a business. Show them what Isagenix is doing for you when it comes to your personal side with, like for me, weight loss. For Mary Kay, she does a lot of the amp line. So the amp line has really changed her game in roller derby. And for me, the nutrition has changed me in a lot of different ways as well. And that's one thing when we were at ICU University as well as Celebration, it's just the consistency and the social point of view that I've been doing has really been talking about reaching out to, try every day with 10 people. And, you think, well, 10 people, that's a long time. I don't have time for that. It literally takes maybe 5 minutes to sit down and reach out to 10 people and, hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time. How's things going? If you haven't talked to them in the last 90 days, just reach out to them and say hi. And, and since then, and since we've kind of really been building on that, today, all of a sudden I have 3 people text me going, so, that Isagenix thing you've been doing? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and one person I never thought would sign up in a million years was like, so I'm ready. And I'm like, wow, because it was the consistency, and that really gives us the encouragement to be, a 1-star, a 8-star, a platinum, because the consistency using Facebook, learning how to use Facebook through a program, like Social Point of View, using Instagram, which I'm not a big fan with Instagram, but apparently the millennium love Instagram, and I'm learning that. So I'm trying to use Instagram more. I know Mary Kay jumps on Instagram more than I do. So it's really a learning curve for us. But like I said, when it comes to knowing the comp plan, it truly is so important, because in my corporate job and in Mary Kay's corporate job, we both know how much we make on a daily basis. And with Isagenix, it should really be about what are we going to make and what do we need to do and how many cycles. And before I went to the University of Phoenix, the downtown, I had no clue what the 1-star through the 8-star through the platinum what meant. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this brief Zoom call with Mary Kay and whatnot, so we can kind of briefly go over it, but more importantly to really discuss going to your back office and understanding what the comp plan can do for you. So do you want to add anything in there? I'm the numbers person, so Mary Kay, she does the roller derby, and she really is our face to Isagenix when it comes to all of the athletes, and I more do the behind the scenes when it comes to the numbers and understanding the comp plan, and we put the Zoom calls together and whatnot. So but we just appreciate your time, and we appreciate, every other Tuesday we're learning, and because we're learning, we're kind of communicating everything that we're learning with you guys. And obviously any feedback or, any education, or if we said something that was incorrect, always let us know for sure. But if we got a couple minutes, if you guys want to unmute and we can have any questions.
That was brilliant, Christina. Absolutely brilliant. And I loved all the smiles and nods as you were going over all the extras. But sometimes we take a few of those things for granted. So it's really great to see your excitement and your enthusiasm about like Club 6, which really is cool. And I love having my VIP line, I gotta admit. That really is a lot of fun. So if you guys ever want that experience and you have a situation, VIP will absolutely take care of things. We just need to call them. So always just let you know that, or hit 3-star and you get access to everything. My kids were in and out. There is also one other benefit that I'm not sure if you knew about, covered, or if it was even stated, because it's new. When you hit 3-star and you remain paid as, the company actually gives you referral leads to customers, referral leads to associates, and as customers buy directly from the company, they will split that up amongst all the 3-stars that are actively paid, and you get the BV for all of that.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's huge. It's really huge. You guys want to run as hard as you can. Christina, brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. And Christina's a banker. So if you guys didn't know that, she knows numbers, she knows finances, and she gets it, it clicks. So you learned a lot, I can tell, and I love it because I love having you in the car seat and the driver's seat on the numbers. That is like a perfect place for you.
Thank you. Yeah, with being a financial advisor, just the numbers, it's an everyday thing. So it's something, even ask Mary Kay, you know, I'm constantly looking at numbers when it comes to even our bills and, you know, what's in the account and, you know, when it comes to Isagenix, when it comes to comp plan, when it comes to everything, just because I have a love for it. So, and that's, like I said, after Lynn and Tanya talked about this, I was just like, came home, I'm like, oh my goodness, we can do this and we can do that. And so it truly sets you on fire to know that, you know, how great this company is, you know, especially when you work in corporate America. And as a financial advisor this last year, the Department of Labor has made a lot of changes when it comes to how we get paid out. And so one thing about Isagenix is over 15 years, they haven't changed their comp plan to decrease. It's only bettered everybody, you know, in the corporate America that I work for. This last year, my income has gone down $20,000 just because of changes that they've made. And so that's another reason why for, you know, Mary Kay and I with Isagenix, it's just, you know, we're truly, you know, going, you know, we both have jobs during the day, but we're truly trying to work this as much as we can so this can be our full-time job, because we know Isagenix will take care of us and they care about us, not just, you know, what we're doing on a daily basis. If we're selling a product, they care about us as a person too, which is awesome. And you see that with all of the millionaires. It's like you can walk up to Tanya, I walk up to Trudy and introduce myself, and Angelique, you know, Mary Kay walked up to her during, you know, when we were in Vegas, and Angelique was just open arms. And Susan Sly, Lindsay was talking about Susan Sly. Oh my goodness, that woman is just amazing. I walked up to her at Celebration and she said things to me that there's like, I have no clue how she knew, but she just knew, kind of like what Lindsay was saying. And it was like, okay, this is just amazing that this millionaire just is talking to me like she's my best friend, you know? So Isagenix is truly a great company. So we really like it. Anybody else have questions? I could just talk all day about Isagenix, so sorry. Nobody? Okay, perfect. Then looks like we're going to be done. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And have a great night. Great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant, Christina. Oh, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I was like, it's so hard because when I put these things together, oh, I want to stop recording. Hold on. When I put
Yeah.